Here in Prime Minister Modi's council. He's there, so is the Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, the Prime Minister there, entering the civil hospital. That's where the family members are waiting for the DNA samples to be taken, and also the matching of the DNA samples, which will take roughly around 72 hours. It's heartbreaking. The families are stunned. It's a devastation totally, as the families wait for the DNA samples to match and perhaps get mortal remains of their loved ones. The bodies in this entire tragedy have been completely charred because the plane actually crashed and turned into a fireball, Vishnu, because of almost 100,000 liters of fuel, which was there.
So 90 tons of fuel.
90 tons of fuel.
So there are some unconfirmed reports, I repeat, unconfirmed reports that the black box of the aircraft has been reported. We are waiting for some official confirmation on this. If indeed that is the case, then that's absolutely critical in taking all of this forward, because it's that digital flight data recorder which has thousands of parameters, or at least more than 1,000 parameters of the flight, its engines, its systems, its flap setting, its instrumentation, its hydraulics, what have you, which are instantly available. And then there's the cockpit voice recorder as well, which is part of the black box unit, which is available. So if that has been recovered, and we're waiting for an official word on this, then that's absolutely critical, because again, we'd have to see what the condition of that black box is. There are more than one. There's two black boxes. They're not black in color, by the way, but they're called black boxes, and those are going to be taken into a lab, and they're going to be clinically examined to get immediate data. And that's what international aviation experts from around the world would want to get a sense of. This is what airlines around the world would want to get a sense of as well. Let's go across to our correspondents as well as we see these images. The Prime Minister is at the airport where those who've been injured and
Civil hospital.
At the civil hospital. I beg your pardon, at the civil hospital where those who have been injured have been taken. Maria?
Yes, and I'm going to go straight to Ankit. That's he's joining us from the crash site. Ankit, what we are being told now is that 200 samples of DNA have been taken. It will be a long, horrific wait for almost 72 hours for these families as they wait for whatever remains they could gather from those charred bodies which have been brought in at the civil hospital. But Ankit, you know, those are the images which are coming in. The Prime Minister there being briefed by C.R. Patil, Union Minister, and other leaders of the party who are accompanying him to the civil hospital as he meets the families, the next of kin, as they wait for the DNA samples to be matched and the mortal remains be handed over to them. Ankit.
Can I very quickly, Maria, if you allow me to, can I very quickly tell you, because I can see these visuals that we are playing at this moment on our screens. I was at the civil hospital, so let me tell you exactly where the Prime Minister is. Like I was telling you earlier, Prime Minister at this moment has entered the civil hospital of Ahmedabad, which is the BJ Medical College, and at the civil hospital. It's just about 1.2 kilometers from here, where the Prime Minister's car has stopped. That's gate number, his car has entered from gate number 3. And from gate number 3, the Prime Minister, if I can see these visuals, is going to the first floor where the survivor and the other injured are recuperating or are being, in fact, being treated at this moment. So while the Prime Minister, you can see the cavalcade entering, and that's the gate number 3. And from there, the Prime Minister will make it to his way to the emergency ward. The D ward that you see, the arrow that you are seeing, the pointing to the D ward, it has been converted into a special ward for the people, those who were taken from here. Remember, most of these people, the injured, not just the survivor who was on board that plane, but many those who were on the ground in all of these buildings, they have been kept here. Like I was saying, the Prime Minister, you would see the visuals of the Prime Minister going into this first floor of this hospital. That is where the people, those who are, and all of them have received, many of them has received severe burn injuries. I was talking to the doctors. Many of them would not be, in fact, either would be able to meet the Prime Minister or anybody else, because they are in the intensive care with more than 60, 70, 80% burns to their body. But the person who miraculously survived this crash right next to, was sitting in the 11th row, right next to the emergency, in fact, one of the emergency doors, he is, conscious, is speaking, and is not badly injured. Thankfully, we've been told that the...
Interrupt you right now. We've got our colleague Abhishek inside the hospital. Let's just go straight across to Abhishek. Abhishek, go ahead. Has the Prime Minister entered? Is he seeing those who've been injured?
Yes, definitely, he has entered the civil hospital and he is meeting those who are injured. And what's important to understand out here is definitely those who were in the flight are, their bodies have been kept in the mortuary. In fact, when the collision happened, at that time, the people at the mess in the nearby area who got injured because of the heat over there, they are getting treated out here, where with whom Prime Minister will be meeting, and especially the lone survivor of this entire accident, he's being under treatment, with whom Prime Minister will be meeting. This is happening here at a civil hospital, but from where we are reporting is the DNA collection sample, collecting a sample area where samples are being collected. Over 200 samples have been collected till now, and we see a lot of people now again coming to look out for their relatives, to look out for their loved ones, and they have been directed over here to at least give their blood samples. And what we have also come to know, the people after the collision that took place, the hostel where the casualty has happened of the young doctors, in fact those canteen people over there who were there making food for them, they are also missing. And that's the reason people have come over here, because those are the people, those are the bodies could have been easily identified, but they are also told to be missing, and relatives of those people have also come here to give their samples. So as we speak, the number of sample collection is definitely bound to increase, and at the same time it will take around 72 hours to the report to come, and then they will identify, and the mortal remains will be handed over to the respective relatives who are present out here, and requisite accommodation and other facilities are being provided for them to stay around for the next 72 hours. And that's what we are continuously telling to our viewers, and those who are coming over here, they should come here and they should be direct blood relative of the person who was on board, and that could make them easier to give the sample. And as early as you give your sample, sooner, in next 72 hours, they will identify the mortal remains, and it will be handed over. And as far as those young doctors are concerned, what we are being told that several mortal remains last night only have already been handed over by identifying. So there is no need for the relatives to come here and do the blood sampling. So there are mechanisms being placed, but this is what we understand from the sources, because till now administration has not given any numbers or figures as per how many bodies are kept here. But what we are understanding from the sources is more than 250 bodies are there here, and those are of the people who are on board, and also those young doctors or the mess management over there, the workers who are responsible for running the canteen over there, and these are the people. That's the reason it is more than 250 as we speak, and definitely process is going on. DNA sampling is being done. People who can identify the body, they are being allowed to identify and take away, but at the same time the process continues, and as we speak, the number is bound to increase. Last we spoke to the people from here sitting at the help desk, they said that they're expecting more 40 to 50 relatives to come and give samples, as per the bodies which are kept in the mortuary. And at the same time, Prime Minister is also visiting injured, taking stock of the situation, what went wrong, how things could be better planned in future. Investigation has already been ordered. As we speak, in civil hospital where Prime Minister is present, meeting to the lone injured and also those who were affected in the surrounding area after the collision took place. Back to you.